Marine scientist Greg Skomal tracks sharks off of Cape Cod in Massachusetts, but he's never had one tracking him. His frightening brush with jaws was caught on video. Watch this.
So ready, Greg, there now on that one.
Oh! Holy crap! It dove right out of the water.
You see that?
Man!
Okay, that was a great white shark. It lunged at Greg Skomal. Joining us now to talk about this close encounter is Greg Skomal. He's a shark expert and senior scientist at the Massachusetts Division of Marine Fisheries. Greg, we're happy that you're in one piece. Tell us about that moment and what you were thinking when a shark jumped out of the water at you.
Well, it's great to be here. You know what? We've been going out for the last 4 or 5 years doing this twice a week, 4.5 months. And it's fairly routine for us to come up on a white shark and try to get videotape of it, try to tag it. This particular shark, we couldn't see. The visibility in the water was horrible until suddenly from below me comes this leaping giant white shark. And I got to tell you, it startled me quite a bit. And it only lasted maybe a split second. So it's not like I had time to think about it. So I just, put the camera in the water and hoped I would be able to get video of it. Unfortunately, I did not. But it was exciting, to say the least.
Yeah, exciting is one word for it. Frightening and terrifying is another. But why did that shark jump out at you? Had you annoyed it somehow? I mean, how unusual is it to see a great white shark jump out of the water like that?
Well, in our part of the world, off the coast of Massachusetts, Cape Cod, New England, these sharks typically do not breach. They don't jump out of the water. We've only seen it 2 other times. One time we captured on film, and generally it's because they're chasing some kind of prey item, some kind of seal. In this case, it's really, really rare. It jumped up, and we don't know what motivated it. Was it the boat spooking the shark, or was the shark actively jumping out of the water to try to get me as a potential prey item? I can't answer that question, but I'm happy to be sitting here today, I'll say that.
The shark wanted to eat him.
It looks like
you
it.
look at the video, the shark wanted to eat him.
I agree with you, because it had its mouth open.
All right, I'm going to leave the interview now.
No, you're staying here because, and here's why, Greg, it does look like it wanted to eat you. And here's my question. About 8 days ago, something happened to a friend of mine, also off the water of Cape Cod. His name is Roger Freeman. He was minding his own business, paddleboarding. Here's a picture of my friend on the paddleboard. And a drone flying overhead captured a great white coming within feet of his paddleboard. Now, my friend wasn't aware of what was happening under the water. But the drone, it was from the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, which was tracking some sharks, and they then showed him when he got back to shore how close it was. So my question to you is, are you seeing more sharks this summer coming closer to the shore and to human beings?
We've been studying these sharks for about 10 years now, pretty intensively over the last half dozen. And we've been seeing the sharks fairly close to shore. And they're there because there's lots of seals which they want to eat really tight to the shoreline. So they're going to come tight to the beaches. And we've been really trying to convince the public that you don't want to go far from the shoreline. You just want to stay close to shore. You don't want to expose yourself to any potential risk here. The probability of an interaction with a white shark is really, really low. But as your friend demonstrated, if you go out there a great distance, these sharks will check you out. They will approach you. So we want people to use common sense in the presence of these animals.
I'm not sure you're comforting my co-host, John Berman, who doesn't like the idea that there are more sharks coming in closer to the shore. And when you say use common sense, what are you supposed to do with a great white circling you?
Well, hopefully don't put yourself in a position where these white sharks will be circling you. The sharks are not coming right up to the beach. You can go on the water, you can stay within a few yards, a dozen yards of the beach. You can do what you want to do. But if in certain areas where there are high concentrations of white sharks, and we can tell you where those areas are, you don't want to go out 100 yards, 200 yards from the shoreline, because then you place yourself at some potential risk.
Okay.
But that risk is really, really low, John.
Well, I appreciate that. Look, I know the important role that sharks play in the food chain, but when you admit to being startled by the shark who was trying to eat you clearly, in noting that it's rare for them to breach like that. That is the type of thing that I apologize, but it scares me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be frightening. I'm trying not to tell my wife that it was trying to eat me, but now the word's out. I guess we can talk about it.
Greg Skomal, thank you very much for sharing your incredible video with us and giving us all a warning of how to stay close to shore this summer. Great to talk to you.